Um, I did, of course, get up and go to the gym this morning. We're at another week. It's a beautiful Monday, and I hope that we are all just motivated. I had a long weekend, guys, so that's why I'm kind of seeming a little tired, but it was a good weekend. And I just thought about some things, over the weekend and stuff that just happens. But either way, what I wanted to harp on mostly today was about how to forgive yourself and to forgive others before you start an endeavor that's actually important to you, that's supposed to be positive, and that's supposed to be put out into the world. So, you have people usually always writing books, self help books, ways and tips that, your life can be easier. And it's a lot of people who want to go that route and want to give that feedback to people. And with me being one of those people who love motivating people, love talking about life and just making sure that everybody's good, I always want to make sure that I'm good as well. So I do go to therapy, as I always tell you guys. I do check in on myself. And the biggest thing that I always do, or that I've always had to go to therapy for, was actually just forgiveness. And it's not just forgiving other people for things that they may have done or things that I feel were wrong, but it's about forgiving myself because mostly I wasn't mad at them. I was mad at me more than anything. So I think that that's the biggest struggle that people have, is knowing that most of the time the things that we go through and the things that we sit through, they are because of our choices. And sometimes we put up with things that we shouldn't have to, but then we're bitter about it later. And that's the wrongest way to appear to others or to be in life, because I've seen it and it's ugly. It takes a lot to forgive yourself for something that you put yourself through or something that you allowed someone to do to you. And if you keep allowing it, it's kind of just insanity after a while, or it's just you enabling somebody. But forgiveness has to do with actually giving the person another chance when they've made maybe one mistake. If it's a mistake that continues, then yes, you can still forgive them, but you don't have to deal with them. You don't have to keep letting them disrespect you or take advantage of you, because that's a different situation. That's you actually allowing something to happen. So when it does come to that, I can tell you guys that I am good on this subject because I see people hold these grudges and really get mad about these small situations with family, with friends, and they'll hold it for years, and it's like you can just see it seeping out of them. Like they are angry, they're bitter, they're always miserable, and it makes no sense. So myself, as you all know, I've been in the military. I did the military about 7 years, and did a deployment for about a year in 2010 in Iraq. The first thing that I experienced when I joined the military was a sexual assault by the hands of another soldier. And he was an older guy and one that I decided I wanted to help out one day. And then it went left. But either way, that was me being a genuinely good hearted person and being taken advantage of in that situation. But I had to forgive myself for being in that situation. It was so many years that I really just beat myself up. For the moment and just for the choices that I made and not thinking things through. But it wasn't on me. It wasn't my fault. And it wasn't something that I knew was going to happen. So that's something I really had to get over for a long time. And that's why I stay in therapy, because sometimes depression and those feelings come back. It's not like you're a robot and like you can just go to therapy and get rid of everything all at once. It takes years. It's been 10 years for me. So I'm always letting people know that just because you're not at the moment now does not mean you won't get there. And it takes tactic, it takes strategy, it takes how you live your life, it takes what you do, what you consume, what you don't consume. It takes a lot to know whether to actually go in another direction or to stay there. And for a while, I wanted to stay there in that dark place, and it got to the point where I had one time wanted to hurt myself or commit suicide. So that's why I do these broadcasts and why I do these videos, because things can start to get ugly and things can get bad in life. But we don't always have people to tell us that it's just temporary or that it's not going to last forever. And sometimes people take that feeling, and that's where suicidal thoughts come from. That's where mine came from. I thought that pain was never going to end or that I was never going to get to the light of anything. It just felt like everything was dark and I had no emotion about anything. So when you do think that you know somebody's going to hurt themselves, or you think you know someone's going to commit suicide, it's not true. There's no signs. There's nothing that you could ever be like, oh, I should have seen that. A person who really wants to do it is not going to show you that. They're going to make sure they wear the best mask and that you think they're happy 24/7, so that you won't even ask them, "Are you okay? Have you been good?" Because you'll probably just break apart and burst out crying, and then everybody will know. But the mask that we wear when we really want to actually hurt ourselves is great. It deserves an Oscar. I can tell you that. So if you've ever had a situation where you did lose somebody to suicide, or you did lose somebody to self harm, that's another thing that you just can't control. If they really wanted to do it, they did it. And I don't ever want to make it seem, bad, but I feel like people who just kind of announce that they want to hurt themselves, or that they're going to commit suicide, or they're like on a bridge saying they're about to do it, you just needed attention a little bit. But the ones who really are going to do it, you can't get nothing out of them. So that comes with forgiveness. That comes with trauma and traumatic experiences, and that pain just weighing on you all the time because you haven't let it out, or you haven't gotten help for it. Another thing about me is that I'm not a crier. I hate crying. Like, crying makes me mad. So I try my best not to cry at all. But the thing about it is, I've learned that sometimes it's needed. Even if it's in private for me, I gotta let it out every now and then. But I hate crying. I used to like hold stuff in for years, and then it's like when it's time for it to come out, it definitely came out the wrong way. You don't want to be that person either. That's why you also got to forgive, and you got to let stuff go, because it's like it'll build up. It's a snowball effect. It'll start making everything around you cold, people around you cold, your job, your situations, anything that you have going on is supposed to be great in your life. It's going to be just cold. Nothing's going to be warm, genuine, loving. Everything just feels like it's going deeper into the soul. So when it comes to forgiveness, the thing that um, you have to take into consideration is the awareness of what the situation was, or the awareness of what you did. You really have to actually dissect things and say, like, why am I really this angry? Like, is it worth it? Is it something that I'm not able to let go of? Did the person do something that I'm just not able to not deal with? That takes dissection, that takes time, that takes actual thought, and it takes you being aware of what you want out of this. So when you forgive yourself, it's a freeing thing. It really helps you just make things more positive, make things better for everybody else around you. And you're going to start to even see other people who hold grudges and who haven't forgiven other people. The way they look is just, it's not cool, it's ugly. Because that then turns into jealousy, it turns into spite, it turns into turmoil, and that then comes off on you, your people, your family. Nobody wants to be around that, and nobody wants to be around you. So we're going to go over it more this week about ways that we can look at ourselves and see the choices that we did make in order to forgive ourselves, because forgiveness isn't just a 1 day thing. It's not a 1 week thing. It's a months, years thing. And sometimes it does take extra time and extra therapy, extra books, extra self-care, extra reading, extra love. But you'll get there, and we're going to get there together. And like I said, this year I'm going to be on it. I'm always going to be posting something positive and something that does have to do with healing, because I'm still self-healing myself every day. Like I said, it doesn't end. It keeps going. It's ongoing for the rest of your life once you've had something that's really affected you in a way that you can't always get through your day. But we're going to get through everything together. And I just hope you guys are being positive. I hope that you're starting your week off in a definitely effective way that can make you produce things that are positive, produce things into the universe that are helpful and not negative. So you guys have a wonderful day. Please take a look out for everything that I have posted. Check out my website as well. It's authorrobinchappelle.com. I have a lot of stuff on there about my next events, my public speaking events, and anything else that I've been having going on. So see you guys later. Have a wonderful day.